group of United Nations rights experts are raising the stakes in the Jeffrey Epstein case. They say the alleged acts described in the newly released Epstein files could qualify as some of the gravest crimes under international law. Their message conveys that accountability cannot stop at headlines, resignations, or one dead man. These are independent experts appointed under mandates of the UN Human Rights Council. They are not UN staff. They work in their personal capacity, but their language matters because they are calling for investigations and prosecutions across any national or international court that has jurisdiction. The experts say the conduct described in the files could amount to crimes like sexual slavery, reproductive violence, enforced disappearance, torture, and other inhuman and degrading treatment. They also mention femicide. Their argument is that this is alleged abuse on a scale and pattern that may cross into international crime. Under international criminal law, crimes against humanity involve acts like rape, sexual slavery, enforced prostitution, trafficking, persecution, torture or murder, committed as part of a widespread or systematic attack on civilians with knowledge of that attack. The experts say the patterns reported in these files may meet that threshold, and if that is true, they say it must be prosecuted. This fresh UN response is tied to a disclosure process under the Epstein Files Transparency Act, signed into law on November 19, 2025. After delays, the US Department of Justice released a major tranche on January 30, 2026. The release includes more than 3 million pages, around 2,000 videos, and about 180,000 images. Critics say even that may not be the full picture. Some reports claim the government could have more than 6 million files total, raising questions about what is still missing. Jeffrey Epstein faced allegations that he ran a system to recruit and sexually exploit young girls, many minors, and in vulnerable situations. In 2008, he struck a plea deal in Florida and served 13 months after pleading guilty to charges, including soliciting a child for prostitution. In 2019, he was arrested again on federal sex trafficking charges. He died in jail in August 2019, and his death was ruled a suicide. Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted in 2021 and sentenced in 2022 to 20 years in prison for her role in the trafficking scheme. The UN experts say the revelations point to what looks like a transnational operation, even using the phrase global criminal enterprise. The documents also describe how Epstein moved among prominent figures in politics, business, academia, science, and culture. Important point. Being named in the files does not automatically mean wrongdoing. Names can appear in emails, contacts, calendars, flight manifests, or third-party references. But the UN panel argues the wider network, structures, and possible cross-border dimensions still demand scrutiny. Some newly reported emails suggest a world where euphemisms did the heavy lifting. The word massage appears repeatedly, sometimes with suggestive replies. There are messages about arranging women as gifts or favors. It shows how coded language and social power can create plausible deniability. This is where the UN statement lands. It frames what happened as part of a broader pattern of dehumanization and exploitation, not isolated bad decisions by one offender. The UN experts also slam the release process itself. They cite serious compliance failures and botched redactions that exposed sensitive victim information. They say more than 1,200 victims are identified in documents released so far, and they warn exposure can trigger retaliation, stigma, and long-term harm. They want victim-centered disclosure rules, clear redaction standards and procedures that protect survivors first. Their message is, transparency is not an excuse to re-traumatize people. The experts say reluctance to fully disclose information or widen investigations has left many survivors feeling re-traumatized and what they describe as institutional gaslighting. They also criticize redactions that appear to protect powerful identities. They argue the system has moved slowly, revealed selectively, and left survivors stuck in limbo. US Attorney General Pam Bondi says the Department of Justice has released all files required under the law, including records across multiple categories. But some lawmakers say the material is still not sufficient. Congressman Thomas Massie is pushing for internal DOJ memos and notes about decisions on whether to investigate or prosecute Epstein and his associate. Congressman Ro Khanna has criticized what he calls muddying the waters by mixing names in a way that creates confusion, including names of people who could not plausibly be involved without clear context for why they appear. The key detail: a name appearing does not equal guilt, but critics argue sloppy disclosure can protect predators while dragging unrelated people into the mess. Former US Secretary of State Hillary Clinton has accused the Trump administration of slow-walking and stonewalling the document process, calling it a continuing cover-up. She says the administration is diverting attention and treating witnesses unevenly. The Justice Department has defended its handling and says it is committed to transparency. Newly released documents reportedly contain multiple references to Bill Clinton. He has denied wrongdoing related to Epstein. The Clintons are expected to appear for closed-door depositions in a House probe later in February after a long standoff over conditions. Hillary Clinton says she prefers public hearings and says anyone asked to testify should do so. Donald Trump is also mentioned repeatedly in the documents and has said he has been exonerated. The UN experts are saying none of that can replace criminal accountability. The UN experts praise survivors for pursuing accountability at personal cost, and they remind governments of their duty to prevent, investigate, and punish violence against women and girls, including by private actors. They also say resignations of implicated individuals are not a substitute for criminal accountability. They welcome probes into current and former officials and private individuals and call on other states to do the same.